So our next speaker is Gavin, and he'll be speaking. I don't want to say for him, he can say for himself.
Thanks, Enoch. So I'm a Gulbenkian man from the mid-north coast of New South Wales, so Navaka Valley, Coffs Harbour area. I'm also an active socialist here in Sydney. I am the first cousin of Pauline Walker, who was one of the Barrable Three to go missing 26 years ago. I've experienced in my family the first-hand racism of the police just deciding to ignore our family without ever, wanting to take our family seriously when our three children have been missing. So, it's also that our people across the country are subject to systemic oppression and genocide by the Australian state. This oppression is felt today through the state-sanctioned police brutality and institutionalised racism. So it's important that we show solidarity with the Black Lives Matter movement as we suffer very similar oppressions at the hands of the police. Like the case of Mr. in WA, who was locked up and murdered over a parking ticket. Shame. The inspiring Black Lives Matter movement is a justified response to the systemic and unrelenting targeting of black communities by the police across the US. Philando Castile, who was murdered by the police in Minnesota last week for a broken tail light, had been a constant target of the police, being pulled over 52 times in the last 2 years. Shame. This is absolutely disgraceful and we should not put up with it. However, these are not individual occurrences. The systematic oppression of black people is a system of capitalist society that's divided by class, characterised by bosses ripping off the working class of all colours, genders and sexual orientation. The sole purpose of the police as an institution is to maintain this exploitation, uphold the status quo, protect capital and serve the capitalist class. If that means murdering black people in cold blood, then so be it. It's considered business as usual under capitalism. Shame. There are not just a few bad apples in the police force. The whole institution is rotten to the core. The police attacking the Black Lives Matter protests right now in the US. They're on the front lines, suppressing resistance, suppressing workers' struggles like the Fight for 15 movement or the Chicago teachers strike, who are fighting for better wages and conditions for working class people, both black and white. This is because organised workers pose a threat to the capitalist class power and control over society when they withdraw their labour and go on strike. The bosses hate to see us working together. And so racism that says black lives don't matter is a great tool for them to divide and rule us. Racist murders have increased under the presidency of Barack Obama, the first black president in the United States. What does that say about this system? When the most powerful person in the world cannot stop his own people from being murdered by the police. Shame. It's because he doesn't care about black lives. Obama is more willing to stand with the police force while they murder black people in cold blood. This is a disgrace and we need to hold him accountable for these murders. Even more disgraceful is that with a flick of a pen, he could legislate real policies that would change the lives of millions of black Americans, like free higher education, free fully funded healthcare, or a living wage. But as a president that has presided over mass austerity, war, oppression, he is not interested in making the lives of black people better, or for the majority of society for that matter. The Black Lives Matter movement is inspiring and shows that we can challenge racism. We can stand up against right-wing politicians and militarized police forces and demand that racism and oppression stop. So we have to stand against racism wherever it rears its head. The next chance to do that is a protest coming up against Pauline Hanson this Monday outside of the ABC building at 8:30 p.m. Pauline Hanson has been elected into the Senate and is using it as a podium to attack Muslims, refugees, Aboriginal people, and scapegoating the problems of the system that are emboldening the far right to be more confident to come out in the streets. Yeah, piss off Pauline, exactly. Yeah. Q&A, like Channel 7, are more than happy to publicise Pauline's racism all across, mainstream media. And that's why we need to protest against her, to show that there's resistance to her attacks on the Muslim community. If you hate racism and you want to challenge it, then everyone at this rally should be there on Monday night at 8:30 p.m. outside of Q&A building in Ultimo. Thank you.
You're streaming live right now. Yes, you are.
Get your fucking ass out of here, white supremacist cunt. Fuck off.
Go away, mate. You've been asked to leave. You're intimidating people. It's not true.
I'm
You know who you are.
What about that one there
I can
streaming
see
live?
that. Fuck off.
You're not wanted here.
Fuck off, you white supremacist piece of fucking white shit crap. Move your fucking ass.
Don't touch me.
No one's touching you. No one's touching you. Just
Blocking your camera. There's a
Tune in tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel.
Bye for now.